Welcome back, hope all is well. It's Wayne, let's talk some games. Now I want to preface this video by acknowledging that I know I'm in the super small category of Nintendo gamers. I'm only a fan of Pokemon really. I've never played any of the other IPs other than Smash Bros, Bayonetta 3, and Mario Kart World, which all three I got into with the Switch 2. I don't have anything against the other IPs, Pokemon was simply the one that called out to me growing up. I've always had other consoles where I got my other experiences from, but I'm open-minded and I have respect for the history and impact on the hobby that I love nonetheless. So yeah, let's get into it. I was in GameChat with the homies and we ended up talking about Switch 2 releases now that we're coming up on the year since launch. There's that running joke that the Switch had no games, and I'm glad to say the Switch 2 doesn't have that issue at all. In my experience, it's been a solid year. Third-party support has been phenomenal. Aside from the slew of great ports, we've got a couple of bangers day one as well. Nintendo's also added GameChat to the Switch 2, which has been great socially for the whole gaming side of the Nintendo community. And I find it funny because Nintendo, on a casual note at least, is known for some of the best multiplayer games like ever. And we are just now getting GameChat in 2025 into 26, you know? And it's been a great experience, for real. Being able to connect and play with people from different walks of life, other sides of the planet, who are just as passionate as I am about Pokemon, about their own IPs from Nintendo like Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong. Like seeing my boy Dari go through that boss fight against Ganondorf in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom was crazy, and it was like super cinematic. It was fun to watch. He was going through it for like a good month, like 4 or 5 play sessions just going at it. And it's wild because we linked up on Pokemon ZA vibes online and stuff, linked up there, and he was really banking in on cozy games. Like he was gassed for Animal Crossing leading into Pokopia, and his just interest in things like Animal Crossing or Stardew Valley and games like that really just made me see games different. Like okay, and then look and behold, Pokemon drops a cozy game. So even going into that, I'm not the type to, oh, it's Pokemon, I gotta get it. No, I'm like, all right, I see you. I tried, I think, Stardew Valley on Game Share with them one time. It was like, and then I was like, you know what? I saw Sakuna of Rice and Ruin for like $10 on sale. I seen it had like a farming aspect in the farming genre. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll test this out because it still has a little bit of action into it. So one way or another. But the crazy thing about Sakuna over Rice, which of course I was late to, but the power aspect really leans in on the farming. So playing that leading into Pokopia really was like, all right, bet. All right, it got me adjusted. So when Pokopia dropped, literally, it was like, it dropped on like a Thursday or a Wednesday or something. We're in game chat, like 5 of us, overnight, waiting for it to drop, have it pre-downloaded, everything. The next day I had off work. So we're locked in for like the next 10 hours, literally. 3 of us playing Pokopia straight. And it didn't just stop there. It wasn't just one of those rushes like, oh, we're playing it for a week. We're talking about for the next like 2 months. We are playing Pokopia. At least like 4 of us are in game chat. 2 screens are taking up Pokopia. We're game sharing, playing Pokopia. And shame of me to say, but I have about like 230 hours in that game. I put it down a little while. I did the main quest, finished the story, saw the credits in it. But like, bro, that's now become my little, like, there's another game I play that's kind of more my cozy game, Skatebird. In between my main like games I'm rolling through, I go in, get that arcade Tony Hawk vibe, but like, you know, really chill out, vibe out, be a bird, skate, and then get back into my main games. Now Pokopia, like, it was a main game and it's kind of adjusted into that. Even games like Resident Evil, chopping it up, linking up with Celestial and Hoodlum over game chat, they're super RE buffs, for real. So you can only imagine how RE9 and, well, on Switch we've always had like the ports and stuff. Most of them were cloud versions because, you know, lack of hardware, I guess. But now that we have the Switch 2, they brought over 7 and 8 as well. So RE9 was my first like real Resident Evil, like playing it front to back. I tried one of them on GameCube back in the day, never finished it. And it's funny because I love horror movies, but I never really been into horror video games for some reason. And horror video games don't give me the same like thrill that I get from the movies. They give me the same thrill I get from riding roller coasters, which is like super rush, react, like, you know, I love it, bro. But you know, you can't ride a roller coaster everywhere. And I can't ride a roller coaster in GameChat. So even with RE9, I know a couple of the homies ran through it pretty quick. And in comparison to a lot of the games I normally play, the RPGs and stuff, Resident Evil has a short runtime, for real. Like, I'm used to locking in like at least 30, 40 hours if I'm quick with it. Like 60, you know, hours in a game. I did take my time with RE9, being that like I said, you can't ride a roller coaster everywhere. And like I was adjusting, like playing that game, sometimes portable and docked, you know, running through the story the first time. Yo, it was great. It looks great on Switch too. My first time playing it, I played it in black and white. I got the deluxe edition, so I played it in black and white for the first time. Just a little challenge, or not even a challenge, but just like a little thing for myself, make the most out of it, you know? Since it's my first RE game, played in black and white, get that like scary old-timey vibe. And then after I beat it, I unlocked personally for myself color. And then seeing the graphics in color now on my second run through is crazy, bro. Like, it's a whole new game. Resident Evil Requiem also taught me that there's certain games I can't play in GameChat. As fun as it has been to get to know and build relationships with new people over Nintendo, there's times where you really just gotta lock in. And me personally, I find a lot of enjoyment in my single player experiences and my story games, or even just appreciation of art styles and graphics and the little minute details. It's hard for me to do that when I'm in a group chat talking around, joking around with the bros. And like those times, it does become a distraction. I've had to learn to figure out the balance in between, like, or even just communication, because as we're all getting to know each other, it's important that we're from different places, regions, or walks of life. So one thing might come across different to another, and being able to chop it up and build on that front has been a great learning experience in itself, and it's been refreshing. And honestly, my expectations were set pretty low for GameChat, just because of my own experiences in the Pokemon community online, and not using that as like a direct reflection on the Nintendo community as a whole. But you know, it was just like, I'm used to like arguments from Gem Wonders over here, spoiler leaker talk over here, rage bait over here. So when it came to GameChat, my expectations were set pretty low, being that most of the early adopters of the Switch 2, I assumed were mid-20s the earliest, but predominantly like 30s, early 40s. And a lot of that Nintendo crowd is more leaning on the history and the old school side of Nintendo and the IPs. And me being a sole Pokemon player, being able to chop it up with people who firsthand like the other IPs, yeah, there's some I know for sure I'm never gonna touch, and there's some for sure that I definitely gained an interest just because I was able to see over GameChat, like, oh, this is what it really plays like. Because a lot of the discourse you see online and slander for Nintendo games really be turning you off if you lean into. So being able to get a real life, firsthand, secondhand perspective of someone playing it or giving you their memories and their experiences is also much more valuable. But yeah, I guess I kind of just wanted to chop it up about my own experiences with GameChat. Have y'all been having fun with it? Let me know. Like, comment, let's talk about it.